Hello, my dear friends. This is Rajesh Mahapatra. I hope all of you are doing well and happiness. In this session, I'll be telling you about the concept of an API in Google Cloud Platform and how it works. Apart from this, I'll show you in the lab how to create a new Linux server using API and how to delete your new Linux server using the API. Let's get started. API stands for Application Programming Interface. It is a set of rules and protocols that allow different software applications to communicate and interact with each other. API defines the methods, data formats, and convention that developer can use to access and use the functionalities of a software system, services, or platform. Guys, in the context of web development, API are commonly used to enable communicate between different applications over the internet. They provide a standardized way for the developers to request and exchange data or perform the certain action between software components. Guys, as you can see here, how do API work on Google Cloud Platform? API plays the fundamental role in Google Cloud Platform by providing a standardized and programmatic way to interact with the various GCP services. Guys, the GCP offers a wide range of services such as Compute Engine, Cloud Storage, Cloud PopSub, BigQuery, and many more. And each services expose its own set of APIs that defines the method and data structure for interacting with the services. Guys, API access, to use the GCP API, you need to enable the corresponding APIs for your project through the GCP console or using the Cloud SDK command line tool. Enabling an API makes it available for your project to utilize. Guys, the authentication and authorization. API access in GCP require the proper authentication and authorization. GCP use the OAuth authentication, which involves obtaining access tokens that provides the identity of the requester. I'll show you in lab so that you can better understand at that time how you can authenticate OAuth authentication. Guys, once authentication is set up, you can make the API request to interact with GCP services. API requests are typically sent using HTTP protocol, and guys, when the GCP API request is received, GCP validates the request, checks authentication and authorization, and process the request based on their specific API method. This may involve the accessing or modifying resources within the GCP services, performing computation and executing the specific action. And guys, the response handling. After the processing the request, the GCP service generates an appropriate response which includes the request data or confirmation of the action taken, and the response is sent back to the requester as an HTTP response, usually the containing a status code, header or response payload in JSON or XML format. Guys, I hope so now you can understand how do the API work on Google Cloud Platform. Guys, I'll guide you on how to create a new VM using API. These are the steps that you can follow to create a new VM. First, you can launch the URL as I mentioned here. Then record the information field like project ID, zones, machine type, VM, network interface, disk type, and source image. I'll show you in the lab, and using the same procedure you can try to create a new VM as I mentioned all the instruction here. Guys, as you can see here, these are the prerequisites to create a new VM as per our requirement. Guys, you can create a new VM using the same prerequisites and later change your machine type, image name, disk type based on your project requirement. Guys, here the project ID, zones, machine type, name, network interface, disk type, initialize param, and set the boot to true. All are steps as I mentioned here. Guys, these are the following steps that you can follow to verify your new VM in the GCP console page. Let's move to the GCP console portal. Guys, this is the GCP console portal as you can see here. Let's move to that compute engine section. Guys, as you can see here, there is no VM available in compute engine service page. Let's refresh again, guys. Guys, as you can see here, there is no new VM available in the compute engine service page. Guys, now I will guide you how do you create a new VM using API. Guys, first launch the URL as I mentioned, and API link also available in the video's description. You can go there and directly click on the link and fill all the required information as per your VM creation. Guys, as you can see here, this is the API creation link. Try this method. As you can see here, this is the right hand side. Guys, you filled all the request parameter and request body and the credential, then click on execute. Now guys, I'll guide you. First guys, you can enter your project ID, then go to that project section and copy your project ID and paste inside here. Then guys, select your zone, then enter your zone name here, then scroll down, then inside the request body first enter the server name or new VM name. Then end with add comma here. Guys, then click on plus icon here, then select machine type and enter your machine type name here, N1 standard 1 here inside the double quotation tab, then end with add comma. Guys, just now synchronize this thing. First you can add the machine type, then second you can add the name of the server, then you can similarly click on plus icon and select the network type. Guys, network interface here, as I mentioned, leave as it is on empty. Click on plus icon, click on add item here, then guys click on here after the square bracket, then select disk, then click again plus icon, click on add item, then guys select type here and type and click on plus icon, select on persistent, then again click on plus icon, then select initialize param, then click on plus icon and select source image, then add the source image here guys. Here no required for any comma guys, nothing else, and then click on plus icon here, then select boot. As it is default as false, just change it guys, just click on false here, then add as true. Guys, as you can see here, now all the respective information field I added here. Then guys, click both the checkbox here, the credential, auth and the API key. Then guys, click on execute here, then click on your Gmail ID, then click on allow, Guys, as you can see here, your compute engine is successfully created and the status is showing as running. Guys, let's move to the VM console portal. Then refresh your VM. Guys, as you can see here, this is the new server created using Google API. Now guys, as you can see here, this is the machine API server 101 and blah blah everything whatever we selected here. This is the default network, subnet also default, and the boot disk type is Debian 11 as I selected here. Guys, now you have successfully created new VM using API server. Now guys, whatever you want based on your requirement, just you connect your browser with SSH, then you can work based on your requirement. Guys, now I hope so now you can understand how the new VM created using Google API. Now guys, I'll show you in the second lab. Guys, you think now how do you delete your VM using API? Guys, as you can see here, these are the following steps that you can follow to delete a new VM using API. Guys, first you can launch the API delete portal, then you can enter your project ID and zone name, then you can execute that query, then after that you can verify your VM in GCP console portal. Let's move to that GCP console portal. Hey guys, now I will guide you how do you delete your new VM using API in this lab. Guys, as you can see here, this is your console portal and already one VM or new VM is already available here guys. As you can see here, API server 101. Now guys, we'll go to launch our instance delete URL. As you can see here, this is the URL already as mentioned inside the API video description. Just you go there and click the link and automatically navigate to this page as you can see here. Then guys, as you can see here, we need the request parameter like project ID, zone name and instance name. Now guys, one by one just will enter here, then go to your project ID first and copy the project ID, then enter here guys here, then zone name US Central 1F just we selected here guys. Now API server 101 or just guys you can copy here and paste here. Then guys, both checkbox as already I clicked here, but the both checkbox you should be clicked here, then click on execute here. It verify your authentication. Guys, now the operation type as you can see here, delete. Okay guys, now you can navigate to that console page and wait a couple of seconds and click on refresh page. Guys, as you can see here, this instance is being stopped. It means your VM is now permanently terminating using API. Guys, you should wait a couple of seconds to complete the process for deletion for your new VM. Now you can see here is your VM is successfully deleted here. And guys, now I hope so you can understand how could you create a new VM using Google API, and after that you can how do you delete your new VM using same Google API, but the different link already as I mentioned inside the description. Guys, I hope so. Thank you so much and have a nice